I'm here in Venice, California, on Venice Beach with Anthony Perez, the founder of Send Me a Penny Foundation. And Anthony, you're going to do some work while we talk because you're constantly doing work and
working,
cutting and serving and putting the food together. So, no, it's a constant operation. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing here today. Tell me about this operation.
This is a Venice Beach outreach that's here every weekend for the community and the people that are in Venice that have found themselves homeless and hungry right here on the boardwalk in Venice. We're here every weekend from noontime till 6 p.m. Currently we're feeding close to, with all this great food, over 1,500 meals a weekend. And they just keep coming. Every summer, every winter, through the fall, people keep coming to the boardwalk in Venice. And some people leave and they travel the world and they come back and we're still here. 2-3 years later, you know, we get a chance to meet people that are hungry and look around. We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know, there's so many people here. And when you look at somebody that approaches our tent with 2, 3, 4 kids, some of them can't afford that $6 hot dog. And it makes a huge difference when you go, hey, come over here. We got some free stuff for you. You know?
Right, so you're not just serving the homeless. I mean, you're serving families who can't afford to eat.
We serve everybody that's hungry. And even people that probably could afford to eat, but who wants to spend money when there's actually free food here. Mm-hmm. We've been given a blessing from the Heart of Compassion Food Ministry, a food bank that has generously given us over 87,000 pounds of food in 2012, which is a lot of food, you know, considering. But when you look at the boardwalk and you see so many people that come by, you know, there's a lot of people starving, hungry, or just, you know, sometimes even spiritually. So they'll come by for a prayer, they'll come by for a hug, they'll come by to say hi. You know, I haven't seen them, they don't even want food, they just want to go, hey Anthony, how you doing? You know?
Right.
That's cool.
What changes have you seen over the past couple of years, especially after the economic crisis hit?
Well, I know that it had a downturn where there was so much more homeless people than ever before. In about 2007, 8, 9, it really crunched down on us real hard. And then it started because they're chasing them away now. They're not really wanting to, you know, accumulate a vast majority of homeless in this section. So what they did is they create ordinances that doesn't allow you to sleep on the boardwalk at all, and so they push you into the cities, and a lot of them become discouraged and they end up leaving. Mm-hmm. And it's really weird because there's people that are homeless for, you know, not all the same reason, for reasons of their own, and they're having to like deal with it all in one. You know, you treat one homeless people like you treat all of them, and pretty soon not everybody can handle that. So they're not all on drugs. They're not all on. It's not even a crime to be homeless. You know, but sometimes people treat it like that. So we don't want to do that. We want to invite anybody that's hungry to come eat with us, to come volunteer with us. We got a lot of volunteers that you see are homeless that end up helping us out. And then we invite family and friends and churches and high schools, from Culver City High, local Venice High, Santa Monica College. We got students coming and doing their community service in this. And so it's really become a community outreach work.
You know, last time I was here, I met one of your volunteers who is from, I believe it was Madison, Wisconsin, a very cold area. She got a divorce. She was living off of $400 a month off Social Security, and she couldn't afford rent, so she moved to Venice, ended up on Skid Row, and then lived in a shelter here and was working with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
This is a very common story, right? I mean, woman in her 60s, 70s, just can't make ends meet anymore.
Yeah.
And spent her whole life raising 4 children.
It's
I mean,
tough.
I'm sure you hear so many different stories, and everybody has a story.
It's a tough business to be out here and try to survive out here in Venice, especially if you're coming into the beach to think that you're going to get a job out here on the boardwalk. There's a lot of people that come out here with that same dream. Dream of hitting it big, dream of being a movie star, dream of being a writer, TV. And it's not always that pretty when you come out here. So you have to be on the You can't be, you know, addicted to these different devices that'll hurt you versus you trying to live life. Because life is so quick, it's so hard that, you know, it's tough enough to do it while sober.
Yeah.
Feeling sober.
Right.
Versus trying to be high or under the influence of drugs. So we all have to help each other. And this is what the great thing is, that if you show people how to do this, they can do this somewhere else. You know what I mean? We have 3 friends that we showed how to do this, and they're feeding people somewhere else, and it's amazing. You know, we did a big shindig for Thanksgiving with over 200 volunteers that came out to the boardwalk in Venice at the basketball courts. Hi there. Thank you very much. God bless. And the next thing you know, she's advertising her stuff, and she's doing it at MacArthur Park, and they fed over 300 people there. The next, like within weeks, you know, and it was such an amazing thing to see that, because it doesn't have to be here. You don't have to volunteer with the Send Me a Penny Foundation. Just help somebody in your area, where you're at.
There's demand everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I can go all over LA and feed somebody. If I have an abundance and I have leftover food, I can go into the areas of downtown or over a bridge or look around. I have an ice chest on the side of my van, and I can just give out water to people that are asking for change and things like that. You can do it anyway, and it makes you feel good. So I believe if we continue to help people and show people how to do this, more people are going to know that Send Me a Penny Foundation only asks for a penny. But I think we're really trying to say that it doesn't cost anything. We just come together and help each other out, through volunteers and corporations and businesses. People can come together and help each other out.
Are you getting a lot of support from the community?
Local support, yes, because we have local support walking the boardwalk all the time.
Yeah.
I do have Whole Foods that comes around. They're invited to the beach, and they asked us how to feed people, and they wanted to give back to the community. Whole Foods Venice. So they're out here the second and fourth Sunday every month feeding the homeless. We also got a local gal who's New Life Society. She feeds the homeless. We have other organizations around us that are local sponsors. Costco locally donates turkeys at the end of the year for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then there's other small churches that are involved that just come to the boardwalk and help us. So, yeah, it's a community effort.
And I understand you're looking for a grant writer?
Yeah, we haven't had an opportunity because we're so busy here, as you can tell, that when you come home, this is almost like a seven-day-a-week job, and we're not available to sit down and find out what's in my head to write it down, and I'm not really that good to do that. So, yeah, we're looking for a grant writer to help us create a scenario. We can have one of these buildings over here that are empty. We have some hotels and properties here that we may be able to fund and put into operation a plan and a solution so that they're no longer homeless, and we can put them in a spot so that they can work in our community and give back something.
Right.
So they can help us, help them. And even further than that, from counseling to
all
job
services.
Placement, all services, mental health services. There's all kinds of stuff available in Venice.
The woman that I met, I often think about her because she had to leave the shelter in March.
Oh, wow.
And so what is the shelter situation like? If you don't have a bed and you end up here, what are your options?
Well, for some people, shelters are not an option because they think it's dangerous.
Right.
And there's different scenarios in there. You hear kind of stories, and the rumor will get you before you get in there, and you go. So you're kind of skeptical about going in, but for those of them that make it in the shelter, it's a 24-hour thing. You're out in the morning, 5 in the morning, you're getting up and about, 6 in the morning, you're out the door. And so, buses here I know the buses that pick you up at a certain spot at about 4 p.m., take you to go to a shelter, get fed by 6 p.m., and then you're out the door in the morning. But they drop you off on the beach. So I'm like here as a Send Me a Penny Foundation, feeding the people that they're dropping off.
Wow.
From either downtown, the federal area over there. So we're not getting funding for that. We just have to pray to God and ask for people's kindness on the boardwalk. And that's something we've been doing. So we've been very fortunate to make it happen so far. We're very blessed to do that. But we do need the public's help. We do need people that are knowledgeable in that direction.
And if someone is interested in helping you with grant writing, how should they contact you?
There is the website at sendmeapenny.org.
Okay.
Or they can contact me directly at 310-619-3885. You can always Google Send Me a Penny and you'll come across.
Okay. And do you mind if your phone number's in the video?
The phone number will be in the video. You can put it down there.
Right.
We have an invitation for everybody that if they want to help us, volunteer or community service, they can always come out to the beach and help us in Venice.
All right. Anthony Perez is the founder of the Send Me a Penny Foundation. And as you can see, there's a lot of need and they're feeding a lot of people. How many people a weekend do you feed?
Probably about close to 1,500.
1,500. Wow.
Or more on any given weekend. And that's all year round up until Christmas time.
Well, thank you, Anthony.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Anthony's mom.
Some recognition there.
Happy